Yeah, he's doing great now.
Oh,
So
he's
welcome
young. He's
to
got a great immune system.
yeah, dude. It's from all that football. So we're back. My Hero Heroes Rising review. This will be the spoiler full part. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, watch our other video talking about the movie, which is just a quick our quick thoughts on the film. But now we're gonna pretty much just break down the movie and tell you how we thought. So the movie starts.
Oh wait, hold on. I wanna.
Yeah. What's up, there?
What's up? It's your boy, Melody L, and now that I don't have to hold back with that spoiler-free garbage, welcome to The Dump. But we're gonna talk about My Hero.
Absolutely. Lucky Red here. I kind of like that you got a big thing for it, because Dump was actually your idea for the thing to start doing. That was the ones you actually came. Yeah, that was yours.
Oh, nice.
I know you don't remember. What's
I
up?
had to mute my headset and take that off because that actually hurt my ears.
Did it really? I didn't think you was that bad.
Well,
That's
it
pretty
actually will
funny.
hurt my brain and my ears by proxy.
Oh, okay. So so first we'll go into what went down, kind of bit by bit, and given our input when we get to each part. So the movie pretty much opens.
With Initial D from the 1990s.
Yeah, we get a crazy chase, big car chase scene with good old Rocklock.
With 90s CG.
Yeah, and my boy Rocklock back. It's them chasing down the League O villains, chasing down Spinner, Dobby, and my actual boy, best guy, Compress. I got a lot of boys in this show, dude. Because, man, you know what we don't talk about enough on this channel? That boy
Best boys?
Deku's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, back to the plot. But not Deku's. We're pretty much told as this chase scene continues, they throw out their big powers. Admittedly, holy shit, dude! When fucking Endeavor does this, I forget what he called it.
Fucking prom.
Yeah, Providence Bird. He just unleashes fire and obliterates the entire truck they're in. I thought that was sick as shit. I was not ready for that. That shit was
What was
dope.
the backup plan? I want to know Endeavor's backup plan if these... They turn out to be copies, by the way. They're clones made by Twice.
Yeah.
I want to know what Endeavor's backup plan was if they weren't, because
Kill
going
him.
by the context of what it did to the truck.
Yeah, it was murder.
Oh, Endeavor's totally cool with murdering people. That's been very clear.
They pretty much confirm in Hero Society, dude, killing villains is not, frowned upon.
They talk
Yeah,
about
it's-
it all the time that it's frowned upon.
Yeah, but you
No.
could still,
Beckham has
you
a
could
whole
totally
spiel
do
in
it,
the
though.
last arc. Beckham has a whole spiel about how it's our job. The only way we win as heroes is if we capture the villains alive. That is the only way as heroes we win.
That's his opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
There-
but
there's
that's also
definitely-
kind of the tone of the show.
There's
You're
plenty
right,
of
but,
villains, heroes that kill
How
villains.
does
though.
Endeavor have the highest arrest record of any hero in history if they're all dead? You can't arrest dead people, Tayshawn.
You can't arrest dead people.
He's right about that, but he was like, you know what, there's no other options, we need to obliterate them all immediately.
But minor thing, because this whole movie, and this isn't necessarily a problem, more an observation.
Yeah.
No one in this movie should be alive anymore. No one. Everyone
know
in
what?
this movie should have died. Every normal ass human being whose power is to fucking float something or shoot tape out their elbows, every single one of them gets bodied through the fucking ground. Dragon
But
Ball
they're
Z
fine.
craters.
They're fine, dude. They're fine. They're superheroes.
Normal ass human bodies, aside from fucking Sarah's weird ass elbows. But normal
You're
ass
right,
human bodies, every single one of them.
Fucking
The
Jiro gets
villains
when
in this movie are dead. You cannot convince me otherwise.
No,
They
they're
were
fine.
forcing their bodies to be marched away by the end of the movie.
Yeah, we're getting really ahead of ourselves.
Sorry,
But
go
it is a
ahead,
fair
go ahead.
it is a fair point, but I think it's pretty funny just to think about.
Oh yeah, that's where I stand. It's just funny.
So pretty much they check out the because in the back of the truck there's some kind of life support system where someone or something crawls out of it, and we kind of see this thing kind of meet up with his boys, and then we kind of jump cut to Class A 1A. In the city, in this island, being superheroes of this local town, who then are cut back again to the school, explain the fact that new program, we need more heroes because man, bro, like shit's getting real, and so we're gonna have these kids be heroes for a time, but specifically in like a low crime area, being this island, which was
This very isolated island.
yeah, very extremely isolated island. What was it, Naboo Island or something like that?
God damn it! It wasn't.
It's like no,
Naboo, wasn't it? It was
yeah,
fucking
yeah, it's
Naboo.
Naboo from Star Wars, but it's
That's
like
right,
spelled
I didn't catch
Nobu
that.
or something like that kind of thing.
But yeah, that's very obvious the intent there.
Yeah.
And that is what sold me on this movie before it came out. Before that came out, I was like, oh, it's just gonna be the same thing as the first one. We're gonna have some stupid goddamn premise where we're gonna go somewhere and we're all gonna conveniently be there.
But no,
And
there's a
that is the case here. That is. But this is honestly a legitimately like, yeah, this is believable.
yeah,
and this
we've
also
totally had
is-
shit like this in the show already, so this is totally
Yeah.
fine.
This is believable, this is organic, and on top of that, this just sets the stage for everything going forward in a really good way, and that sold me on this movie before I went in. Because again, like my opinion on Two Heroes is it is 130 minutes or an hour and 30 minutes of build up to a really cool fight scene, and that's it. All I care about is that fight scene.
I mean, it's fair.
The rest of the movie is fine. It's filler at best to be, but that fight scene is goddamn fantastic. This movie, very different. Please continue.
So we then after exposition dump of what's going on, we cut back to the town, and yeah, so the kids are now heroes in this super seclusive island, and they are doing local hero stuff, including walking old ladies to the hospital, charging local tractors, helping out as lifeguards of the town. Just simple shit like that, but it's actually pretty cute. I love that every character is doing something.
That is also the miracle of this movie. Is every goddamn person in that 20-person class does something in this movie.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. And God bless whatever writer managed to do that. That's some fucking Avengers kind of shit right there.
So after we get more breakdown of that, we find out that a local kid has gone missing. So Chaco, Jiro, and good old Deku decided they're gonna go look for him. And then, holy shit, they lower the gravitational force on them, and then Midori does this several times in the movie, and I think it's really funny that he literally Sonic runs everywhere. Like he just speeds by. Yeah, he just that's just what he
by the way,
does.
I like the idea that no, he's not just Sonic running, he's spin dashing, because that's what I think of when you say that.
It's honestly very great. I love it. So they go on their
Also, the first big change of this movie from the series, the first big difference we see, Midoriya is super strong at this point in the series. Because, so I pieced it together while watching the movie. This would take place in, like, the fourth arc from where we're at. From now. You have the Gentle arc we're in now. The school festival.
Yep.
We have the Pro Heroes arc after this.
Yeah.
The training arc. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. After that, and then an arc about the villains.
Yeah.
And going by all the information this movie gives you, this takes place during that villain arc, at the beginning of that villain's arc.
Yeah, or at least close to it.
I took it as it takes place right before it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought too. But
Like,
I thought so
between
too, but with the doctor being brought up,
yeah,
I
thought
and
that
stuff
as
like
well.
that, the implication is that it would be like the start of the villain saga, at least if you ask me. But nevertheless, at the very least, between the training saga, or the training arc, and the villain's arc,
yeah,
yeah.
which that's a good chunk of where ahead of where the anime currently is, significantly far ahead of where it was when it's released in Japan. That's
Yeah.
halfway through the next season at least.
unless this season's gonna be extra long,
Yeah.
which I don't think so, but I guess it could.
No, this will probably cap off with the Pro Heroes arc if you
if
going
it's
by.
if it's really going long.
Nah, these next two arcs are very short, so they won't take more than a few more episodes each.
Fair, very fair.
I'd be surprised if we do even get into the training arc at all.
It'd be
Yeah,
cool. We won't
exactly.
get into training
It'd be cool.
arc. That I'm sure of, unless they push this season really, really long, like a 30 episode plus season. But we have we likely will cover the Pro Heroes arc since that will only take a couple episodes. So yeah, Midoriya is jacked. Is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
Like by this point in the series, Midoriya is a goddamn threat. Like, he gets a lot of upgrades between here and then.
um,
Yeah, they also just straight up show some shit too. He doesn't. He doesn't use anything, but like they just show them. If that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, I get you.
yeah, I feel you. So Midoriya's running around at the speed of sound.
Yeah, so they're running around trying to find this kid. They eventually find him, and turns out he was never actually really lost. It was more just a thing for this little girl to fuck with some young heroes because she did not think they were very good at being heroes because they're just high schoolers.
Because she's a little. Am I allowed to say the C word?
No, sorry, you can't say that
You're
one.
just not allowed to say that. I wouldn't say that word.
Yeah,
Not in
so-
America.
Yeah,
In
so
like
now,
England and Australia, they don't really care. That being said,
but yeah,
at
she
this point,
is
I
a
started
bitch.
getting
Yeah.
bit concerned. At this point, I was a little bit concerned because I was like, "Are we just gonna do the Coda thing again?"
And we
I
pretty
hate
much,
Hero.
which is really my only problem with the movie is the fact that they are just Coda essentially split into two characters. But
Well, I don't think that's
it's
the
still-
case. I actually feel like they diverge enough later on, but early on, yeah, it really just feels like it's a Coda thing all over again.
So
They
after
never
that,
actually really addressed too much why she hates heroes either.
they
Oh, they
yeah
actually address straight up. She doesn't hate heroes.
yeah
She just
yeah,
doesn't want her brother getting into trouble and getting hurt.
Yeah, but that's just something Midoriya
kind of infers
like
yeah
hypothesized. Yeah, they never
Yeah, but-
actually.
But the way
100%
the
confirmed,
story
but it is
phrased it, that's
implied that that is
obviously the motive.
actually the case. Yeah, but you're right. It
I
is
don't
never
need
outright
this show to
stated.
spoon feed me exact answers when it gives me all the information I need to come to a conclusion.
Wait, this is anime. They have to spoon feed you
and they
all
also
the
do
things.
spoon feed you because Midoriya thinks out loud, and that's all the confirmation we get.
It's very true.
So they
Anyway,
do still kind of spoon feed it to you. They
Just a little
they
differently.
don't beat you over the head with it.
yeah. So they then after they berate Midoriya a bit, he kind of reads it as the fact that no, I just appreciate the fact that I got to help somebody and they're actually safe. And then we then go back to the agency that they're currently running, and afterwards, just doing more tasks here and there, kind of getting through the day. They then get rewarded for all their hard work by the local townspeople, which was a very cute scene, actually.
Yes, I appreciated a lot of just the character bits in this and these tone setting and all that kind of things.
Yeah. So after that, we're then do we cut to the villains after that? Is that when we cut to the villains, or did more happen before that?
Maybe. I don't think we need to down quite so. Sorry, I don't think we need to break it down quite so detailed.
Yeah, I guess
like,
you're right. So
scene by scene.
So they kind of laze around.
A long time if we do that.
Right. So they laze around.
The
and
length
kinda
of the movie.
Yeah, the length of the movie. So they kind of laze around and chill out while they decide to talk about the actual, or we cut to the villains, which we kind of get a bit more insight onto who they are and what they're doing. We see Hawks, which is the number 2 hero by the later point of the series, where the anime is currently not in English or in Japanese.
Although technically he is the number 2 now, he's just not officially.
Right. But he hasn't been in the show proper yet, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our introduction to Hawks as a character, is this movie.
I love his voice in the dub, by the way. I've never heard it before.
They picked a really, really good voice actor for it.
Yeah. Also, I did not know 9 was going to be Johnny Young Bosch.
I was about to say, was it Johnny Young Bosch? Because at a certain point I was like, this sounds like Johnny Young Bosch.
Well, that was the villain, 9. Not Hawks. I was talking about Hawks.
I know it's not Hawks. I was talking about 9.
Yeah.
Also,
I did not know that.
We get the name of the villain. In fact, I think
we get everybody's name, actually.
I think they realized that they forgot to put the name of the villain in the last movie.
That was my biggest complaint, is the villain is not important in the movie at all. He's just in the movie to move the plot along. But in this movie, that is not the case. In this case, the villain is very important to the movie. So we find out... What's up?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So I made a promise to Chris.
Yeah.
My brother, when we went to go see the movie.
Yeah.
If these villains were anything above the benchmark of the last movie, I would sing their praises. And they absolutely are.
Yeah, 100%.
They are significantly better. The main villain is still kind of he's a bit better than a cookie cutter movie villain, but not by a lot.
No, he's still just evil, but I actually love I love his sidekicks. Yes. Oh my god, I love
Chimera. They give you all the information in the world as to who he is, why he has these motives, or why he goes along with this, and what his motivation is. They give you all that information. He's the most motivating character of the villains.
Yeah.
By a long shot. The other guys is just, I'm strong. And I want to be in power. That's the villains.
Yeah, it is.
That's a revelation.
I do like that they make multiple references to Kamino, though. And actually, they make a reference to Sun Eater, too.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, they point out Chimera has a similar quirk to Amajiku.
It's pretty dope. Because he does.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So we're introduced to pretty much all the villains and what their plan is, sort of. We get basically a little bit of it, where 9 apparently is a man with super-powered quirk, which I don't think we ever find out what his original quirk is. Hey, Weebs, how you doing?
Weather control.
We're doing great.
Yeah, the weather control.
Oh, he's weather... Right.
Lightning.
It's weather control, yeah. So,
yeah, because he uses it when he meets the Chimera.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, his powers are too strenuous and very much kill him. So, he has decided his master plan is to work with the League of Villains so they can experiment on him so he can get the ability to steal other quirks and do crazy stuff with it.
Kind of the plot of Deadpool 1, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit. Then, our other good boys pretty much are enlisted by him, and they all have wacky stuff. So, their plan is now clearly showing that they are stealing quirks. We don't know why, or we don't know what he's trying to do with them. Then we go back to the village, where it's late. They're Bakugo and Deku are talking about hero stuff, as they often do, when the boy from earlier comes explaining that there's a villain in the city, and they rush to stop it. And when they find it, it's this giant grasshopper monster, and Bakugo rushes into battle before he realizes, oh, and then lets it hit him, and it is just an illusion. Because he's not fucking stupid. he instantly realizes it doesn't have a shadow, it's just an illusion, and it's the girl again, trying to make him and the heroes look foolish. We then are pretty much told the next day about the fact that the kid actually, like, the boy really likes heroes. Not really a reason given for that, he just does, which in this world, like, that's pretty normal. He's trying to get booty. Yeah, exactly. So the little boy's trying to get booty, and he's really wants to be a hero because of it. And that's right, that's how Mineta becomes a character. That's what the whole movie is. It's a Mineta origin story.
About how he becomes a true hero.
That's right. He says pretty much how he likes heroes. I like that his favorite hero is Edgeshot, because as I know for a fact any kid would absolutely love Edgeshot just because he's an edgy, cool ninja guy.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, Endeavor corners the adult demographic, the 20 to 40 male demographic.
Whereas Edgeshot 100% is just like, yeah, every kid would love the super cool ninja hero. So then you got, he pretty much talks about that, the fact that he actually does like heroes, and then Deku gives him a pretty good emotional, like, speech that, man, like, say what you will about sub or dub, but man, the English voice for Deku is amazing, and I love every speech he gives. They always hit so hard for me.
Actually, weirdly, I don't know who the kid's voice actor is, but I really like him.
Yeah, he did really good too. I'm not sure who did the kid.
I don't know why
though.
that kid stuck out to me. I'm like, oh, I actually really like this kid. Who's this voice actor?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have not checked. So, kid, that is when, of course, when Deku infers the fact that no, his sister actually he doesn't hate heroes. She probably doesn't like them, but it pretty much just doesn't want her younger brother to be in danger because their mother has passed away, and it's just up to them because their father is always away on business, which he was actually the character who was attacked earlier and had his quirk stolen by the villains. So we then find out after he's attacked that his quirk has a weakness, that it only works with certain types of blood. So Nine, who we then find out is the villain's name, confirms the fact that they find out due to his phone that the kids live on a secluded island, and that is why they attack the island, because they need that kid, because quirks are hereditary. So they go out and do their thing to attack that island. We then cut back to the kids doing more hero stuff. And I think then we have the kid and his sister pretty much like talk for like a second about deciding that he's decided that he does want to be a hero anyway. But then the yacht breaks through the dam essentially, like the something, and crashes into the docks, holding our four villains, which of course are the main villain Nine, who essentially is all for one but much younger, and only can hold 9 quirks instead of however many he can. Question mark.
They don't ever elaborate on how many quirks All For One can have.
Exactly.
It seems like pretty much however many he wants.
Yeah, and he can actually give them to other people too, which is fucking ridiculous.
There is a reason he pretty much ruled the world for 100 years.
Yep.
Technically speaking, there's something that stopped Nine from doing that too. Because the doctor does very clearly say you're compatible with his quirk.
Yeah, his quirk, yeah. He's just like dying.
He should have been able to like
fully absorb it. Although the doctor does specifically state that he could hold 9 quirks.
Including his own.
including his own. So probably can only support 9 quirks, or else his body will shut down even further.
Not even that, it actually physically stops him, because he tries to take Midoriya's quirk.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we'll get into
And
that
he
in a
says,
second, because
"Oh."
that one's kind of more important.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that aside.
Yeah, because that one's a little bigger.
Yeah.
So we then get into the villains, which are 9, as I said. This one dude, Chimera, who instantly I was like, this dude's dope. I love his design, and we get so much about him. I love this villain. He's essentially just like this wolf, bear, lizard.
He's a
hawk.
chimera.
Yeah, he's a chimera. He's just a mesh of animals, which is fucking dope. And he just always has a cigar in his mouth. And then there's the girl's name was Slice, who has a hair manipulation quirk, which to be fair, I thought was I would think was lame. However, it works the exact same way as a character. Literally, she's just Milia Rage from Guilty Gear, which I thought was pretty dope. She literally just has the bladed hair and shoots them like shards. Just like
it might be a
does.
reference then. My only real thought, which was a super strong one on that, was a girl with hair.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that before.
Yeah, so I don't know that is a reference. It might not be. I don't think it is, honestly.
I
but
hope it is, because
it is.
otherwise it's like, so you just gave the girl hair powers, really?
Yeah, pretty much. But if not,
With all the other, with the other two guys, have much more fun and interesting quirks.
yeah. Oh yeah, and then Mummy, who I also love. That's such a cool quirk too. So
Yeah.
So we then find out Chimera and Mummy attack 2 specific areas of the island. Chimera attacking the beach, where there's a lot of beachgoers, and Mummy attacking the shopping district. We then find out Mummy's quirk, which is when he wraps up inanimate objects, he can then turn them animate, that he can control into these like mummy puppet dolls, but they have to be connected to his body still. We're also then, like, Chimera shows off that he's just pretty much just a beast man. He doesn't really have any other powers other than being super strong beast man, which I also think is kind of cool. We then get like a bunch of the characters to do battle, as I think it is Ida, Ojiro, which Ojiro gets like a fight, which I was super surprised about against Chimera.
Ojiro actually gets action scenes in this movie.
So yeah, it's like Ojiro, Sugar Rush. So it's Tailman, Sugar Rush. Is his name Sugar Rush, or is it Sugar? It's Sugar
No,
Man.
I don't think Sato was there.
Yeah, he fights him.
Sugar
He gets
Man
knocked
is
out
fine.
he gets knocked out in like one punch though.
Oh yeah. So the main fight is Ojiro, Tokoyami, Todoroki, and Ida.
Yeah. And then in the town is Bakugo. Actually, it starts off with Mineta, Aoyama,
and
and
Hagakure.
and Hagakure is there. They try and hold off Mummy, and it doesn't work at all.
I'll be honest, at one point I was like, why is Invisible Girl doing fucking nothing? And then I realized, oh yeah, her power is being invisible, so there's, pretty much fucking nothing she can do.
Yeah, we found out later she can do a flashbang kind of thing, but it's unlikely that would have helped much in that situation specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, the reason she was just kind of there is because she couldn't think to do anything else. She even pretty much she did the one thing she could do, try and contact the others, but Chimera had destroyed all of the cell towers and the that's later, all the cell towers, so there's no way of them communicating at long distance at the moment. Needless to say, Bakugo, Kaminari, and Kirishima go to assist in the fight against Mummy. They have a lot of trouble because Bakugo gets all tied up and controlled because his outfit technically counts as an inanimate object. He escapes by essentially just blowing up his arm, and then
I'm really glad that segment didn't go on any longer.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this is just gonna be a real tired fight if we just have to deal with this.
Yeah, for like a whole chunk of the movie. So they get through that and then they take down Mummy. It's pretty much just like after they get through that, it's pretty easy.
That is one of my little like minor sadnesses. Is
that he's just taken down and that's
everyone
it.
something to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. I say they give everyone something to do. I kind of wish Kirishima got a bit more, but he also did just have a big chunk in the series, so I'm not too bitter about it.
He also
I
has...
think Kirishima had a... I would say he has a huge part to do in what's it called? One of the final 3 fights.
Yeah, which we'll also get to that too.
I mean, that's entirely fair. That's my personal feelings. I wish he got a little bit more.
He has a lot more than he had in the last movie.
And a lot more than most of the other characters have.
Forgetting, I can unharden and get out of this wall.
Okay, to be fair, I thought that was pretty fucking funny though.
I thought that was funny, but it's also a lot of people point out Kirishima is not that dumb. How the fuck did he just not realize that?
Well, apparently he is that dumb. He's too in the heat of the moment. So he is taken down, and we don't see him for pretty much the rest of the movie, besides seeing him shackled, like in a scene not long after that.
Yeah, get fucked.
The other 4 taking on Chimera get their asses kicked. They don't do jack shit to that guy. Then we're shown the kids who are getting cornered by 9 after he destroyed their home. Which Midoriya, as always, swoops in and saves the kids last second. Which they then face off in the middle of these woods. Where...
Real quick, can I talk about something?
Yeah. What's up?
Because it happens before where we're at.
Okay.
So the kids actually, before the communications go down, they call for help. They call the UA Hero outpost.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Bakugo answers the phone.
Yeah.
It's like, get fucked, kid. You can't get me a second time.
Yeah.
And in a really good like show of the progression of their relationship, Midoriya just goes, "Get the fuck out of the way," and takes the phone from him.
Yeah.
The fuck are you doing, Bakugo? Get out of here.
Yeah, and then he runs after the kids.
Like, I want to highlight just the progression in those two's relationship, even at this point in the movie, to show that, yeah, Midoriya will now just push Bakugo out of the way if he needs to. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't just bow down and like, oh, I'm sorry, Bakugo, I'm sorry. Kachan, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, he's not a cat.
He'll fucking...
He
he'll
ain't that
fucking
young coward no
take
more.
now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an important thing to highlight. This movie, again, side story, takes advantage of that to highlight character moments the series hasn't had as much time to do. Organically. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So after that, 9 realizes this strength enhancement quirk Deku is using is clearly very, very insanely strong. So he should take it, of course, as you would do, because it's pretty fucking wild. But
Hold on. Spoilers for the manga here. Like,
yeah,
big-
absolutely, very big spoilers. So.
Turn the mic off for a few minutes, or turn your headset off and turn the volume off. Mute this for a few minutes if you don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Give us like a couple minutes, cause Midoriya tries to have his quirk stolen, but it doesn't work, and he realizes it is because All For One is very strange. Whatever quirk he is trying to steal is very strange because it has too many quirks in it. Which shows how special it is and why he cannot take it, which makes perfect sense, and I love it because then it really shows the fact that, man, Midoriya is about to have like 5 more quirks in the very near future.
Yeah. Like, that was something I was surprised they didn't show off any of it like they have at this point in the manga.
I do Okay, you know, and I'll stay for what I'm gonna say until after we're done, because it's about the end.
Okay.
But
So you'll save
the
until the
fact-
end fight kind of deal?
Yeah.
the fact that they spoil so many things, and then technically spoil that and don't show it off is kind of bizarre to me.
Yeah. I guess that's
Like,
fair.
'Cause it's
I didn't
very
even think.
clear,
I really didn't
going
even think
by-
about it, to be honest.
Going by the fact that the other characters have upgrades to their quirks that they don't show until the next big training arc. They have upgrades they don't have until then, so this obviously takes place after that training arc, when they have shown these multiple quirks, or at least that one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they didn't actually show off the move itself.
Yeah. Like Black Whip.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that, Nine is taken aback and realizes he is now a threat, need to kill him immediately. So he essentially launches him with a wind blast into a nearby small cliff. The kids see this because they haven't run away because they are kids doing kid things of being scared
Also
and not
anime.
running away. And anime
I'm looking
things.
at you, Android 18.
Why are you still here? So they go to Midoriya, who tells them to run away, run very far away. He's coming for you guys, and the only thing I can do is keep him away from you. So Bakugo comes in to help save the day, and they work together, sort of, to take down Nine. It goes very poorly, and they are struck by a huge blast of lightning that almost fucking kills them. And Bakugo takes a literal Blue Eyes White Dragon to the chest and has his freaking ribs shattered. So unfortunate for the good boys. They're literally like near dead, and the only reason they live is because Nine gets instantly very sick using too many of his quirks, and Deku recognizes this, that he's taking he can't handle all of the quirks he's using in quick succession.
I am so happy they clarified that early on, rather than have that be some bullshit thing that pops up in the final fight.
Agreed. So even though he does try and still steal the kid's quirks, the two boys try and grab his legs even though they can barely move and tell him to back off. He then starts to get really sick, and Slice comes and they decide to run off since they can't. The kids and everyone on it can't escape the island right now anyway. They then, thanks to the lightning blast, blow out the entire power grid. We're then taken back to a local shelter where Kaminari is using literally everything he's got, as well as Yaoyorozu trying to make supplies and charge the entire facility so they can at least, help out these people who are now pretty much refugees.
I feel a little bit bad, because Kaminari's bits are absolutely fucking hilarious when they pop up. Because they kind of just pop up. And that kind of really dumb humor out of the blue typically gets me. But also, Kaminari goes balls to the wall to do what the things he does in this movie. It's obvious from how they frame that scene that Kaminari's been charging that generator for a long damn while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I feel a little bad for him that it's then framed comically. Yaoyorozu gets all the sympathy for doing essentially the same thing.
Well, it's because his one-note joke is doing that, whereas Yaoyorozu, literally is essentially getting rid of calories to do that, and doing too much of that can literally make you exceedingly sick or even kill you.
Yeah, that's totally fair. But
and I can't
really
speak on the
seem to
fact that
elaborate on how bad Kaminari's thing could be if he overextends himself.
yeah, well, because
Super
it's hard to say how someone would react to unleashing too much lightning powers from their body.
Well, they don't explain what it does to his brain aside from he gets fried out.
Yeah, he essentially overcharges himself, whatever that kind of means. So we then are pretty much the team discussing what's going down, while Midoriya and Bakugo are very much like near dead. We then find out what the kid's quirk is that they want so bad, which pretty much instantly tells us why he needs them. And he has what is called a cell activation quirk, which essentially is just quick rejuvenation, because it literally jump starts like the body's cells to do their jobs really fast. So he tries to use his quirk to help out Deku and Bakugo as much as he physically can. It seems to work, but we're not really sure. As he goes and tells the other young heroes that is why the villains want his quirk, because with that he could then like fully recover and use the full extent of his powers. Which, yeah, that'd be bad. That's so Midoriya and Bakugo, who make a dramatic recovery thanks to the young boy's quirk, confirms to him that his quirk is actually something too important to just give away, because the kid like offers himself up to the villain. He says it's too important, it's such a great ability that you could totally help so many people with. And so we're going to...
There is one of my minor grievances with the movie.
What?
Is, yeah, that's a heroic thing and all, but, you are literally putting over 1,000 people's lives in danger by having a big final fight for a kid's quirk, whose quirk is kinda cool.
Bro, this is comic book superhero mentality.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
but
I vote all the time.
No. It makes sense that they don't just give up the kid, though, because Midoriya does confirm that he knows why they need it, and he's like, yeah, if he gets that quirk, he's not going to have to hold back anymore, and there's going to be nothing that can stop him.
Yeah,
so they also don't know what he wants it for.
Midoriya does say he knows. No, Midoriya does. Midoriya said, yeah, they do. He straight up says he's like, when he was using his quirk too much, because Midoriya literally says the words.
Out why he wants the quirk.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's going to use that power for later, is what I'm saying.
He's a villain who's killing people. It doesn't matter what he's gonna... Yeah, he doesn't know that... I guess he doesn't technically know he's going to reshape the world yet, but he does know he's a villain who's doing horrible things.
My problem with that scene is specifically that it focuses less on the potential ramifications and more just, nah, kid, nah. We can't have you losing your little power.
Yeah, but nah. This is comic book superhero mentality. If it's
That's
wrong,
why I said it was a minor problem. And if it was any comic book movie, I would say the same shit. Like, just because it's comic book logic doesn't mean I have to think it's not fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That being said, yeah, the secondary motivation is the much more valid one of, this guy's fucking people up already. I don't really think I want him being able to do that with zero repercussions. As an audience, we know why he wants it, and we're definitely not okay with that.
Yeah. So they decide, alright, so we're gonna come up with a plan. So they cook up a way to beat this boy, because they know his one weakness is the fact that we just need to essentially run him down, because he will burn himself out. So they cook up this plan, which they pretty much only give us small details about it, like the fact that we're going to separate them into the team of 3 that is left, and then that way we can like kind of break them down in separate teams and wear down 9. So we then cut to Aoyama and Yaoyorozu, which Aoyama does some dope shit, bro.
I was not expecting Aoyama to get one of the fucking big scenes of this movie, but by golly, does he get to do something.
Yeah, dude, he fucking unleashes his ultimate technique.
He does the whole goddamn fucking Super Kamehameha Final Flash on this motherfucker.
Yeah, just shoots lasers everywhere and shoots a giant beam to separate them. I forget, he has a name for it.
He just full on, like...
Yeah,
I was a little taken aback. Because I'm like, I didn't know Aoyama could pump out like that. But yeah, if he's going all in on one shot, yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, his laser buffet.
Yeah. So he shoots beams out of his shoulders and shit, and then he also shoots beams out of his giant Final Flash Kamehameha beam from his stomach. It was dope.
God damn, Aoyama.
And then, of course, Yayorozu unleashes a giant cannon to do the pretty much the finishing touches of separating the team, or the enemies. Which does work.
She does have she pretty much should just trademark those. Her signature move, cannons.
I mean, pretty good move, man.
I mean, yeah.
It's just actual working cannons.
You got Ojiro with Karate Man tailspin attack.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
I
On
make
the other
a
hand,
fucking
silly
cannon.
as it is, if someone adjacent to him said, "Well, here's time for my final move," AK-47.
It's
like-
and then I shoot
that-
everybody.
Yeah, no, I think that's a bit hilarious, but also I can't argue with the fact that that's a very valid move.
Yeah, you'll beat him, dude. So after that, the teams break up to fight, which we get.
I did forget to bring something up.
Oh, what's that?
Bakugo during the mid fight with Bakugo and Midoriya versus Nine.
Yeah.
Bakugo has the most Vegeta entrance I have seen outside of Dragon Ball Z, where he shows up, full boss mode, gets one good hit on, cocky as fuck, it's Bakugo, shit's going down, and gets immediately manhandled.
Yeah, he does. He does do that.
Immediately fucking ragdolled around. And I actually leaned over to Tayshawn in the theater and went, that is the most Vegeta shit I have seen.
There was actually a second moment that I wanted to point that out too. In the second fight, in their like big fight where he's like, Bakugo, where Midoriya was like, "Yeah, we worked as hard as we could," and then Bakugo, he was like, "I even swallowed my pride and worked with Midoriya for this."
Yeah,
Like that was
round
his
two of the
fucking.
fucking Vegeta
Yeah.
shit. I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, another parallel with Broly.
It's pretty great. So
Get to you, Zach.
we get Slice versus Mina Ashido and Tsukuyomi. Good old
With a black
yeah.
body.
yeah.
Also
Revel in
showing
the
off
dark.
all his moves that you don't see until that training arc.
Yeah.
No, we've seen that before.
No,
We
no,
haven't seen him flying before.
yeah, we never seen him flying before that. We do see the dark shadow possession thing though.
It's a black body.
Yeah,
Also-
black body.
I do like the fact that they're like, yeah, if we put Tokiyama in a cave, yeah, he'll probably be good just him. We'll throw Ashido in there for some good measure.
Yeah,
bit
Ashido
of
does some
motivation.
great strategy of blowing up burning the rocks above the head so they keep collapsing.
The stalactites.
Yeah, and then at the same time, he tries to fight her. He is incapable of taking her down. So when Mina accidentally gets hurt, Dark Shadow starts to take control and unleashing his full powers, which is pretty dope. I haven't seen that in quite a while, actually.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw the cave, I was like, oh, well, I can guess why they did this. Oh, but yeah.
But that's pretty much how the
just
fight with her
respect
goes.
to Tokoyami there.
Yeah.
A little bit of respect there, like, yeah. I mean, everyone else, all the big hitters are at least paired up with like 3 other people, except Tokoyami. He's like, yeah. Throw on one person, put him in a dark room, he's covered.
Yeah. Very true. He's actually like crazy strong. He just needs the darkness.
He needs that edge.
Then we get Chimera against the same against good old Froppy, Todoroki, Ida, and Kirishima.
Wasn't there another person there? I feel like there was another person there.
I don't think so. So he ends up being a hell of a lot for them to manage, so they trap him in ice under a small lake right off the bat, but it doesn't seem to work.
He can
Until...
breathe fire. Go figure.
Yeah, because he can spit fire and do other cool stuff.
Which he does about twice, just to show that he can do it.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't really
Although I do love seeing him light his cigar on fire by breathing fire onto it.
I mean, I had a lot of questions by that, like why did only the end come on fire? But I
Because
can't deny that
Flame
was really
control. So,
Like-
because it was dope. So they apparently was all strategy. These useless strikes were actually covered in a mucus that Sue apparently emits that can weaken people. And he was getting weakened, and he didn't like it. So he beast moded and became an actual giant chimera monster.
Makes you wonder why it didn't work on any of the other people who it was apparently liberally applied to, except for Ida, who's wearing armor.
Yeah. So we find out kind of his the core part of his story being the fact that he was always considered a monster because he is a monstrous creature-looking person. So he kind of
Which,
hates
to be
the sight
fair,
of
he
it.
is and should be.
I mean,
Damn. So,
I'm a little I feel a little iffy about that. Like, that's great motivation, but I'm also like, Tokoyami is much more unsettling in the fact that he is a pretty jacked, normal human teenager with a bird head.
yeah.
Like, literally everything else is normal.
But
except
see,
for
the
bird head.
difference is his
Ojiro's
life
fucking
was...
tail is disgusting. It has biceps.
Yeah.
That unsettles me. I dislike that.
Well,
strongly.
dude, fucking...
And Coda, what the fuck is his head?
the rock thing, who's like
Yeah.
actual skin. You're right, but the difference
Despite
is
the fact that
he
his
got
power
to...
has nothing to do with having a rock head.
He inherited it from his mother.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
But the thing about it is the fact that he grew up with good people who liked and respected him, whereas Chimera clearly was oppressed his entire life because of it.
Yeah, fair.
So, they have a lot of trouble with this, and they come up with a brilliant strategy where Todoroki only tells them one part of it, and essentially everyone just kind of distracts Chimera, so Todoroki can use Kirishima as a human shield, because he is one,
Yeah, that's kind of his whole shtick.
by using Unbreakable to absorb a literal laser cannon of pure heat. And then, and once he does that, he just straight up freaking jumps into the fucking monster's mouth and freezes him inside out. How the
He's
fuck?
dead.
How the fuck is he alive?
dead.
I thought he was straight dead.
He's dead. He was flash frozen. He's dead.
No, he hibernated. Todoroki said so.
No. Todoroki's wrong. He has not taken any science classes in his life. I don't care what kind of scholarship he's been offered. Apparently, they were for literature or something else. They weren't for science. Flash freezing someone does not put them to bed. Flash freezing
Yeah, but
someone
he's an animal
kills
man,
them.
so it's different.
That's not how that works.
Did you see the Pokemon movie just got released today on
The what?
Netflix?
The what?
Oh god, I
The-
forgot about that. I didn't know it was on Netflix.
Yeah, it's the remake of the first movie, but it's like all CG.
No, I've not. Hey,
I'm a little
what's up,
scared to
Trevor?
look at it.
Fuck. So, the next thing...
Also, Slice got crushed by boulders.
Oh, also-
dead, but not really.
Side note, for anyone that wants, actually they never show her. Oh yeah, they do actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
they
they
do.
show all the other villains.
so what are you gonna say?
So, side note, on the same level of Pokemon, real quick, guys. Happy Pokemon Day. Also, if you guys play Pokemon Go, make sure you log on today. They are our special raid battles. You can catch the clone version of the Pokemon. The free starters, they're in raids today. Also, Armored Mewtwo.
Oh, that's pretty dope, actually. Yeah, go get that.
Really, really good timing there in the middle of our review. But
I just thought about it because I saw I watched the trailer for the Pokemon movie, which is actually out now.
So, after that, we'll then get into the 9 stuff. So 9 gets a lot of rocks thrown at him, like just a literal
they
avalanche.
actually do the smart thing
Yeah,
for a change in a movie. They actually throw waves at them.
yep.
They don't just all in at once. We got to wear him down, so let's all fight at the same time.
So
They actually throw
Ochako,
waves at him.
Mineta, and Sero. Launch tons of rocks, boulders, an entire avalanche of stone, just on top of him, sticking him to him, collapsing him. So he is literally buried by stone. It does essentially nothing, but he is forced to use a lot of his quirks, like his beam fingers and these wind shields and wind blasts. They are fucking rocked. They freaking Sero and Mineta get their asses kicked. But they did get a lot of. I
really wish he had
cool
taken
moves.
Mineta's quirk when he had that opportunity.
Oh,
Not because I want, not because fuck Mineta, because I like Mineta.
Yeah.
He's a little creep who gets a shit
You wish
beat out of him every
you wish
episode. I'm
Nine
pretty
could
cool with
have
that.
sticky balls grow out of his body.
Yeah, I just love the dead serious fucking villain with this fucking big old purple balls coming out of his head.
He's pretty
That
great.
would be beautiful.
So after that, after these things start going south, Bakugo and Deku just rush in. Which first Bakugo just blasts him in the face, and then Deku leaps into action to save Ochako, and then the rest of the group to kind of get into the fight.
You forgot about Juro's a little bit.
Jiro's a little bit. That's after that.
No, you're right.
Yeah, no, I didn't forget. It just hadn't happened yet. So, gotcha. So, after that, the big fight continues, and fucking nice. God, I'm trying to think what exactly happened. So Bakugo and Midoriya try and fight off Nine, and do fairly well. No, they do horribly. Never mind. So they get their asses kind of kicked here and there. But as the fight progresses, over and over again, he's starting to clearly show no fatigue at all, actually. Until they're both blasted with lightning, seemingly dead again. So he then proceeds to attack the kids. That's right. Then he's forced to use his big lightning blast, which literally fucks him up, and he is now like totally exhausted. Despite that, Deku and Bakugo try and fight him off, but get hit with a huge lightning burst, and then they are seemingly like just don't see them for a while. He then goes back after the kids, who are being protected by Jiro, Ojiro, and oh god, what's his name? The Tentacle. What was Tentacle's name?
What do you mean?
What is his name?
I have
What-
no idea what his name is.
Okay. I just wanted to know what his name was, but that's fine. I'll just call him by his hero name then. Tentacle. So they are trying to protect the kids. Jiro and Ojiro decide to destroy the bridge that he is currently standing on, which doesn't work at all because he then unleashes dragons, which fuck up the two completely, pretty much normal human heroes, and launches them into cliffs, which looks like it fucks them up, but they're fine, I guess.
Well, pretty much like everyone in this class, short of Hiroshima and maybe like Sato, is pretty much a normal person with just some powers. Like, no one's really got a whole ton of like durability powers.
Who's your tag team partner? Technically Mr. GGW, but I don't think you really have a true tag partner anymore. So, after all that good stuff, the very weakened guy decides to zap lasers at Tentacle, which like fucks him up. He is just instantly taken down.
He's the other guy. My brother even pointed out he kind of got a bit of the shaft in this movie.
But he doesn't
like
do
that.
jack shit anyway, man.
Yeah, but like even people like Ojiro, I've had multiple discussions with a ton of people. The common denominator is if there's one person who does nothing in Class 1A, it's Ojiro.
Oh, Ojiro? You mean Ojiro does some stuff.
Tailman.
Yeah, Tailman does stuff.
Tailman does like nothing in the main series.
Sure he does. Tentacle does nothing.
I mean, he also does not do well. No, he helps Midoriya out in the forest.
Oh yeah, he does. I totally forgot about that. Who are you
That's
champions
more
with?
than
You
Ojiro
were
gets.
champion with Wesley Wolf, but that has changed since you broke up with your group. So Tentacle's taken down, and the kids are very scared.
He at
and
least does it in a badass manner.
yeah,
He tanks those shots. He does the whole "you get out of here, I deal with this" sort
Yeah.
of thing.
yeah, where he just stands in the way of the beams and then gets like tanked
Yeah,
down.
just
like,
get like punked and like gets knocked down.
yeah.
Like, he tanks quite a lot of shots.
So the boy's sister decides to say, "You run, and I'll take care of it." And she just kind of runs at Nine, who grabs her by the throat, and lifts her in the air, just screaming at him, "You come to me if you want her to live." He runs at her, saying that he's gonna save her. He's gonna prove that he is a hero. And as he does, Midoriya runs and kicks him in the goddamn face, kicks Nine right in the face, and then Bakugo saves the little girl, which I loved that. I love that.
That characterization right there is fantastic.
The fact that Midoriya goes for the attack and Bakugo goes for the save is amazing.
That is fantastic. I love that so much. But that, again, comes back to my whole thing. This movie takes the opportunity to show the development of characters who haven't got as much or haven't gotten development in between major events.
Fair enough.
And this is building off of everything that was built up in the Midoriya Bakugo fight in Season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we then... the fight now kind of gets going in earnest. Nine super weakened. Bakugo and Midoriya pretty weak actually right now too, but they're everyone's going all out. But then, while Nine is so weakened, he unleashes his ultimate final form.
Butterflies in.
Yeah, Butterflies. Butterfly decides to go all out and then unlock his butterfly mode, which I thought was very funny looking, but whatever.
Oh yeah, it looks really stupid, but you know,
Gotcha.
movie villain.
But either way, afterwards, he starts creating giant storms that are like obliterating the entire island because it's just a tiny island, and now it's being struck by huge quadruple tornadoes and just vicious lightning storms. The boys decide they're going to give it all they've got, 100% full cowling, and Detroit Smash, and the Howitzer Impact. They unfortunately do nothing, and it fails. They then are once again grabbed up by these Blue Eyes White Dragons. They get really badly fucked up to the point where they are pretty much on death's door. Like everything is going very poorly right now. So Midoriya comes up with the plan that the only thing he can think of, and because saving these kids is more important than anything else. Because that's like that's the Midoriya thing to do, is sacrifice everything so everyone else is okay. So he decides that he gives a bit of his blood to Bakugo and literally gives him one for all, and it looks fantastic. I literally, mouth gaped open, was losing it.
This is where we will slightly disagree, because I thought it looked a little on the stupid side in the show and here.
You shut the fuck up.
the way it looks.
You are retarded, and I hate you. That was perfect. I was full of just mouth wide open, tears rolling. I was losing my mind. Pure adulation. The like sparks flying off them. The like Super Saiyan hair, the crazy distorted eyes. I thought it was gorgeous. Oh my god, I loved it. Every single second. They both pull back and unleash the double Detroit Smash and just obliterate the entire storm in a single blow. Culminating in them just a spectacular scene of them just rushing through this debris and explosions as they just take this dude down. And we see a giant, essentially all for one empowered, or one for all empowered explosion from Bakugo's hands that just obliterates everything.
Also, no sound effects, only music.
Which is so sold how somber and like great it is, man. Sounds good, dude. And oh man, I loved it so much. I thought I didn't see it coming at all, which is funny because I actually saw tons of people online say that was going to happen, and I had no idea.
They watch it in Japanese and want to be cool.
I guess so. What about you, Tay? What is that thing you wanted to say during the final fight?
No, I totally spaced it.
Oh, alright. Well, then, of course, after that was the just kind of aftermath of everything. So
this is actually where I come to my actual problem with the movie.
So, what I didn't touch on, which I pretty much forgot about, was that Yaoyorozu did explain the fact that she used a drone to send a message that Hawks and a handful of other heroes and people found out about and rushed to the aid of the kids. And when they arrive, they try and save everybody like from the debris and wreckage of everything.
Favorite thing, whole theater got a laugh out of it. Fucking Endeavor bear hugging Todoroki.
Yes, oh my god, we were all cracking up. That was fantastic. Full of fiery, bearded tears. My boy! My boy! But then, but we then find out that during the conflict and extremities, Shigaraki actually grabbed Nine and teleported him away, seemingly using the professor's one of his teleportation Nomu quirk things, which is another case of only being like a manga thing. And during that, he explains that there can only be one true, like, kind of big bad, essentially, and just...
There can only be one successor for All for One.
Yeah. And he literally disintegrates him.
There can only be one.
Explaining to him that, don't worry, your dream will continue in me. And then,
There you go. Bit of a Shigaraki moment, too.
Yeah. We then find out because All Might comes to see Midoriya and Bakugo. Bakugo completely is unconscious, and Midoriya is bawling his eyes out, explaining the fact that he gave up everything, and that and begging All Might to forgive him for making that very, very hard decision. But turns out, due to the fact that Bakugo's unconsciousness and the fact that he was not aware, essentially, of the passing of the All for One ability, a miracle was caused by the former members, former torchbearers of All for One, and the quirk did not fully transfer. Therefore, Midori keeps his quirk, and Bakugo keeps on being Bakugo. And he also doesn't remember due to the conflict ensuing, and he pretty much just uses explosion stuff anyway, but just it was bigger, and he just apparently just didn't remember why.
Tay, you there?
He's just
Yeah, I'm
tired.
here.
They then take a good old boat, return home, and the movie's over.
Yeah, that last bit is like... That's where I actually have the one big problem with the movie. Oh my god.
Okay, what is your
Fucking
one?
last
Oh, is it
minute
the fact
movie
that everyone's
contrivance.
alive?
No, not that. I don't give a shit. It's My Hero, of course everyone's alive.
Okay.
Except for, like, people who are brutally murdered.
Yeah.
Because, like, My Hero doesn't go all in for murder, but when it's murder time, oh, it's brutal.
So, okay, so what is your one big complaint about the movie? That
The
drops it from a
fucking
10 out of
contrivance.
10, it's a 9.5 out of 10.
The fucking contrivance of, well, the former holders of All for One made a bit of an exception because that's how this works. And Bakugo didn't. Like, really?
Yeah.
You went the whole movie with like no movie contrivances. Like all the Naruto movies have some stupid bullshit that allow a big final fight. You had one. You had your big final fight scene, and you decide to just fuck it. Like here's a movie contrivance. There was no rule saying Bakugo couldn't just give it back, which would have been a good character moment for Bakugo, saying, nah, dude, I'm gonna be strong without All Might's power. Fuck you, Deku. But no, it had to be the power itself decided, nah, fuck that shit.
Yep.
And also, why is it necessary for Bakugo to not remember any of this? And also, why are there no repercussions to Midoriya shattering his arms with his own power again, despite the fact that the doctor's like, yeah, you keep doing this, you're fucked.
Well, that's easy. Cell's kid. He helped him out.
I don't think that works
Hashtag cells at work.
And they don't even bother to say that in the movie. They're just like, Midoriya broke his arms again. Oh well, that dumb kid.
Yeah, it happens.
They don't even do that. They just kind of ignore the fact that he broke his arms again.
That's very true.
Like, specifically, you think Recovery Girl. Last time he did that, everyone was on his ass. Last time he did that shit. The muscular fight, despite being against a mass murderer or a serial murderer, alone on a mountain defending a kid to the death, he gets berated for misusing his power and breaking his arms. This time, nah, movie's over. We're not gonna do that this time. Movie's over.
Yeah, it's off screen. It's
Literally,
not
like the
important.
last 5 minutes are 99% of the frustration I have with this movie. Like, it's a Wonder Woman case all over again. It's just
No,
even
it isn't.
further backloaded.
It is not that at all.
I mean, yeah, no, a little. It just doesn't undercut the movie. It undercuts the series of movies based off. The literal consequences set up by Deku's actions are just ignored because it's a movie,
Yup.
and there needs to be the big cool final fight thing.
Yeah.
And you can't have a cool final fight if Midoriya's not at 100%.
Yeah.
Even though, like, you know, tons of Midoriya's fights are not at 100% and they're all pretty cool. That being said, the final fight's pretty fucking dope. And this movie's goddamn fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get my bad things out of the way. I hate that last part. I hate it a lot. And there's small things like the CG's really bad, frankly. Or in cases where it's not even particularly bad so much as it seems really out of place. Like, why is there this pseudo-realistic CG in a very cartoony world?
Yeah, me. I only really remember it from the car scene, if I'm being honest, but yeah, it looked pretty bad.
His storms in the sky were all CG, and those looked really...
the clouds, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. I forgot. I actually totally forgot.
But again, kind of in a Broly way. It's like, yeah, that's a problem, but it's pretty minor.
Yeah.
And even in this case, they at least don't use it on the characters themselves.
Yes. Which is
In
good.
fact, that car chase, anytime they're not like doing a pan shot or whatever of the cars, anytime they're not focusing on the cars, that car chase looks fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
It's
good.
literally only when it cuts to looking at the cars and it just looks like a scene out of Initial D. It's like, oh man, Initial D has not aged well.
So, then I guess really all that leaves is like final thoughts. We'll start with Tay. Hey, Tayshawn.
Yes.
Final thoughts, and then your score.
I already gave it my score.
Okay.
7.5 out of 10.
So okay.
It
Fine.
was good. I enjoyed it, and I would like to watch it again. I really enjoyed it. I thought the super forms were fucking dope, and it was a fun movie. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah.
Also, I am tired, so I'm gonna get off.
No problem, dude. You have a good night.
Yeah.
You too. Stay gold, guys, and all the good stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Bye.
What about you, Isaac? Final thoughts.
From a general movie standpoint, from my very specific taste, I'll be generous and give it the 8.5. Absolutely loved this movie. Yeah, the last couple of minutes really fucking pissed me off, but the rest of this movie, the movie original characters are all pretty damn good, with the exception of the main villain, who's just generic baddie.
I don't
But
know.
he's
I'd say
again
the worst
surrounded-
was probably Slice, but yeah,
Slice has at least some varying dialogue that gives her more than evil villain.
True.
9 does not get anything like that.
Yeah, no,
9
he's
is
just
just-
bad.
Movie bad guy though.
I mean, at
But
least
he
we
is
know why
surrounded-
he is.
He is surrounded by characters with better design, more personality, and more character. And so I'm a lot more forgiving of it.
Yeah,
Also, the two kids. Two kids are actually pretty good.
agreed.
Like, if I'm being honest.
If I had to say final thoughts, these 4 villains were 10 times better than the villain and like his henchmen, essentially, from the last movie, where they didn't even get names because they're not important at all. And although I did kind of like Melissa and David Shield a little more than the kids, I will say the kids were still pretty good. Also, like, this movie, the first movie, I had a few complaints, mainly just because of the villain stuff. I didn't really have any other issues. But with this one, I really didn't have much. I'd say my only real complaint was the fact that the kids were kind of too much like the Coda story, but with a twist. But that didn't really take away from the movie at all. And then, like, the big moments and then 9 was kind of just a bad person. But I did like that he had a few things making him not just that. Like, he never wanted to kill people, which I thought
He
was
also
actually
had a
kind of nice.
motivation.
Which is nice.
He at least had a whole thing. That's why I say he's a little better.
Which is way more than you can say about most of the villains in, say, Dragon Ball movies.
Yeah, I'd say he is just a hair above the standard shonen movie characters.
Absolutely. And
Right.
I'm probably going to see the movie again, like, this Sunday.
I would love to, but I will have to wait for the DVD release.
That's fair.
Oh.
I know, I just
However-
really want to see it again, so I'm probably going
Oh,
to do
I
that.
absolutely do too. That was a fantastic movie. I think the final fight drags on a bit too long. By the end of it, I'm getting pretty tired of the fight.
Yeah. I felt that way, too, until we got to, like, the big, like, entirely music-driven scene at the end. But I
Weirdly
agree,
enough,
before
at that point, I was just like, well, see, here's the thing with that, and this is also why I'm a little bit of a downer on that scene. Is the super power up at the end of the movie is a cliche. It's in like all shonen anime movies. Like All of them. Like, there's always, specifically the Naruto having a Rasengan for like every fucking movie.
Literally
There's
every
a
movie.
special Rasengan. So I'm a little jaded to the, here's the flashy power up we made up for the end of this movie.
Yeah, but at least this
Again,
one
kind
was
of-
not that. This one actually does have something in the show, and it actually does make sense, even if the essentially reverse of it doesn't.
And again, my big problem with the reversal is there's no rule saying that
That's possible.
Bakugo couldn't just give it back.
Yeah, he could have. He just would have
Like,
had to
they-
want to, essentially.
I don't think he would have kept the quirk personally. And again,
Yeah,
it
no,
would have
probably
been
not.
a cool character motivation for Bakugo. Or a
Yeah.
cool character choice on his behalf.
I don't know. I don't
Would
know.
have shown the
I
emotional
just
growth
know
of the character.
Horikoshi wanted that moment in that fight, and that was pretty much it. I mean, he came
Yeah.
up with the whole, like, pretty much the whole movie, so...
Which you can tell this movie is filled with character stuff. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
an entirely character-driven movie,
Yeah.
which I love.
You get
The
tons of
one
stuff
of the
from
problems with,
everybody, Deku and Bakugo especially.
again, the whole class gets character bits.
Yep.
Hell, a couple of the villains get character bits. Endeavor gets a cool scene right out of the gates of the movie. Like, I was
Yeah, he does.
immediately hype at the beginning of this movie because Endeavor just straight up fucking blows
blow.
those guys away.
Which was dope, dude.
Like, I already got blood pumping, and we're not even 5 minutes into this movie.
But
So
my-
I got cool action, and I
Yeah.
got tons of good character stuff.
absolutely.
I love seeing the
And
characters bounce off each other. I love seeing weird combinations of characters. I was super looking forward to all the power-ups the characters got over time that we haven't really had a chance to see in the anime.
Bro.
Ida's Recipro Turbo.
Bro, if we had, like I've said, or like I wanted to say, it's definitely 9 out of 10. If I did top anime
Oh, sorry.
movies based on a series, and did like one series per franchise, it would easily be number 2. It would instantly
Yeah.
be number 2. It'd probably be number 2 anyway. It's really,
Yeah,
really
I
good.
can't think of another movie aside from Broly that is
Yeah.
an anime.
Unfortunately,
show
I
anime
can't say
movie.
it's better than Super Broly. Super Broly just totally blew me away. It's
For
gorgeously
me,
animated, and man,
the
Broly
ex-
has one of the best character written stories I've ever seen in one of those movies.
For me, the big thing is that the climax lands completely different for me.
Yeah.
Broly's climax is goddamn amazing.
Yes.
Like, there's no frustration there. I don't have any bullshit where it's like there's some movie contrivance that allows this to happen. It's entirely stuff set up in the series. It's the best payoff for Fusion we ever get.
Yeah. Where it
We
just
get a
works
full-on
out.
fight. Yeah, it actually works out. We get a full-on fight, not that 2-second Soul
Bro,
Punisher that we got
In that
Fusion River
movie,
one.
I never noticed it until someone pointed it out. The fact that in the movie, obviously they have tons of trouble fighting Broly the whole time. When they fuse, he does not get hit once. Gogeta
No, that's
never
not entirely
takes
true.
a single
Gogeta
hit.
gets hit. When he turns blue, he is never touched.
Yeah.
When he gets hit when he's just Super Saiyan. He gets hit early on. He's still dominating the fight, but he's taking hits. When he goes blue, he is never touched again.
Which really shows how powerful. That is such a brilliant way of showing how powerful that is.
And
But-
that is my big thing there, though, is Broly, the end of the movie is satisfying. It gives me everything I want. There's no movie contrivance that drives me up the wall. You know, the movie ends in an interesting way. There's tension because Broly's still a movie character. They might kill him off, popular though he is. There was a very real chance they would kill him off.
Yes.
So there was actual tension in that fight. It's just, weirdly enough, we're worried about the antagonist getting killed, not the protagonist.
Yeah.
The biggest sin on behalf of the Broly movie is that they revealed Gogeta in the trailers.
Yeah, that's very true.
That would have been the coolest fucking thing to come at blind.
Agreed. Well, then I guess we should just close it off there. Pretty much gave our whole review of the movie. It was very good. Everyone should go definitely check it out.
Oh yeah,
eh.
this is fucking in order of magnitude better than the first movie. The first movie's fine. Again, I feel like
Yeah.
it's just an extra long
So it was
filler
like a-
episode.
It's like a
with
7
a
out of 10.
damn
It
cool
was solid. It was good.
I'd give it 6 personally. I wouldn't give it as high as 7.
Yeah,
This
I
movie,
think
on the
7
other hand-
think I love 7 great. Yeah, 6 I say is okay. 7 is good. Maybe it is a 6, but I think
feel
it's
that
7.
movie is. Yeah, I think that movie is okay with a really good ending.
This one's
But
amazing.
even a
and you
really
should
cool
totally
ending
check this shit
doesn't
out.
really make up for the fact that I kind of have to deal with them. I think the big thing is that this movie is character motivated by the characters we give a shit about.
Yeah.
2 Heroes is much more character motivated by David Shield and what's going on with him. And Midori is just kind of there and has to kind of help solve the problem.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big difference.
Very true.
Midori has a ton of agency in this movie, and it really does feel like it's about him and being a hero. It's about him biting the bullet and going in and figuring out a plan and trying to deal with this shit.
And then he does.
Which also might just show his growth as a character.
Agreed. Same with
I like,
Bakugo.
I like the fact that Ida is calling the shots until they need a strategy, and they then rely on Deku.
Yeah.
I like that part. I like Ida being the leader, but Deku being the strategist.
Fair. I like that.
And
It's
again-
actually pretty good too.
Fantastic characterization of Bakugo's growth in this movie.
Yes. 100%.
I also like the fact that he gets punished for doing fuck all for a whole day. They're like, well, you can stay up all night then and take shift.
Yep. So,
You want to just sit around? We'll give you an extra night full of sitting around.
yeah, the characters are just front and center in this movie, and it drives it so hard. And
Yeah.
but
And again, everyone gets something. Everyone.
yes, so we'll definitely call it there. We're glad you guys checked out the dump. Let us know if you definitely want to see us do more. Probably do a Twitter poll about it sometime next week. Because we definitely will. We'd love to review more movies and other stuff, or even just like talk about news and that we really want to talk about, or even just nerd debates. That's kind of what the point of this this format was made for. Which, man, that was actually a good call, Tay. Even though he's not here. So with that, as always, don't forget to stay lucky and bro, go see this movie. Bye, y'all.